as my friend Danny Gonzalez once said, Happy Pride Month. Shout out to the gays. This one's for you, the gays. The gays, the days, the everything A's. We love you all.
In a double celebration for the TikTokers are calling it Summerween, and then also Pride Month. We decided to do a little like double whammy here and talk about the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which I had never seen, unbelievably to myself mostly. I mean, I was very excited about this. I had been meaning to watch it for a very long time, and finally got the opportunity. So good times.
So, to kick it off, what was your, what did you know about it other than, the Tim Curry of it all?
So excellent question. Everything I knew about this movie came from The Perks of Being a Wallflower. That sequence in that movie. I didn't even know Susan Sarandon was in it.
Yeah.
So my knowledge was literally, it's a musical, Tim Curry, and gay. That was literally all I knew about this movie at all. So fun little adventure for me to kind of, I didn't know it was a Frankenstein structure and type of story at all.
It's a Frankenstein and vampire and alien and it's
musical.
7 different things and very much musical.
Yeah, wall-to-wall music, which shocked me. I didn't know it would be, at least the beginning is wall-to-wall, song to song to song, in a great way. It's been a long time since I've watched it, and I forgot how much of it is music. It is almost entirely, specifically the first half, like you mentioned, is almost entirely music. It's fantastic. The songs are really good. The way they cover them is really fun and weird. It's got a lot of energy in a way that I think is just fantastic. In a way that sometimes musicals fall flat of.
Yeah.
But not this one. Not Rocky Horror.
Not Rocky Horror. Tell me, what were your thoughts on the framing device of the guy in the chair telling the story?
That's the one thing I don't know what it was supposed, you know what I mean? I don't know. That being said, it was fine. I didn't mind it. It's funny whenever they just randomly in the middle of the song cut back to him for one shot really quickly. All of those made me laugh.
It's just a jump to the left.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's you're all right, cool. Let's go.
When he's an active participant in the music, it's always a fun addition. Yes.
I was curious if that was from something, if that was a structure device from some Frankenstein story along the journey, because it's not in the original. It's
definitely not Frankenstein. I think it's a send up to what's the Twilight Zone and movies and shows like that.
The stage version had it, because I also did not know this was a stage show first. I knew there was a stage show. I thought it came after the movie.
I doubt very seriously that was part of the stage show, but I don't know for sure.
Word. Yeah, sick. But no, I was fine with it. It did not bother me in any way. But after the movie, I was like, well, what was that about?
Yeah.
In an interesting, funny way.
It's the thing that I love about this movie, and for so many other movies, it doesn't work at all, is the fact that this movie is there's very little in the way of plot. You know what I mean? They kind of show up and a bunch of crazy random shit happens, and then people die and they leave.
Yeah.
It's
exactly.
But it's so over the top, it's so camp, it's so fun.
Yeah.
It is the epitome of camp in the best way.
Truly, it is the epitome of camp, but then also just craft too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything about this movie was really of a whole. The production. I desperately want to
that right.
Yeah. I desperately want to watch a documentary specifically on the production design of this movie.
Yeah.
Because it's so good. I know they filmed a lot of it in. What's the movie? There was a movie, The Castle. It was from that movie. I don't remember. Did somebody in the comments tell us? No, it wasn't the Clue Castle. It was something. It was some other horror movie that was like surprising that it would be the same castle. Anyway, so like just all I want to know how they like imparted like here's what we're thinking. And now mind you, they probably had the stage show to go off of in terms of a stage show, which by the way, Princess Diana saw and loved, which
Queen.
is wild. Awesome, great shit.
The people's princess.
I truly, but I found that out today, and I was like, that's wild to know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this movie's got a lot of that. Like I said, the craft, like the production design and costume designing in this movie is top notch. Very, very few movies do it as good as this one does it. And specifically those, in terms of the craft, specifically those regards are just perfect. They're so good.
Yeah, I saw this for the first time with a bunch of my theater friends in high school, which is the perfect way to watch it.
Yeah.
And then I think I watched it again like a year or two later, and I have not seen it since then. It's been a really long time since I watched it. So like watching it now, I was struck by like how good it looked and like how high budget it felt at certain points and in certain scenes. I was like, I remember this movie not feeling this like clean and like good looking than it actually is.
Well, did the first couple times you watched, the first two times you watched it, did you watch it on like a DVD or something like that?
Probably something not too far from that for sure.
Well, and then what did you know about it going in too? Like on that first viewing, were you like aware of it? Because I don't know why I wasn't. I knew what it was, but I didn't know what it was. You know what I mean?
I think my awareness might have stemmed from Glee, legitimately, because there's they have like a Rocky Horror episode.
Yeah. Were you a Glee head? I didn't know you were a Glee head.
I watched some. So I was in theater. I watched some of it sometimes. I think I like watched like a lot of like the first season or two and then completely fell off. By the time like people are like graduating from high school and stuff, I was absolutely nowhere to be found. When they started having real lives, I want high school drama.
Lame. What's the point?
But so a lot of my awareness now that I could be messing up timelines here, but I think that makes sense. Actually, you know what? I'm going to look that up real quick. Give me 1 second. I think that's when my awareness comes from. Glee.
Glee is just Glee is the funniest show in the world to me because it is not well remembered, but boy was it popular.
Right.
Nobody seems to like that show anymore.
So that episode came out in 2010. I watched it for the first time, I think in like 2013, 2014, somewhere in there. So that would make a ton of sense. Like, so that I think would be a lot of where my awareness came from. I also had friends that like did the like live shows and stuff with like the movie playing in the background and like, pantomiming to the screen. So like I have friends who did that at the time. Yeah. So I had a few different outlets for my awareness.
So that would be my follow-up question. Do you have any interest in going to one of those showings, like a midnight showing of this, where they get all crazy and stuff?
100%. This movie, this is like the perfect movie for something like that.
It was the first one to really do it. Maybe not the first like midnight screening movie, but it was the first one to have this level of. Which I'll see if you know this. Do you know that this is the longest running theatrical release in film history? Because it is still to this day in some form of limited release constantly.
Yeah.
In 10 or 15 cities around the world, you can still find this movie actively playing, not just a special screening, playing. It is the longest running theatrical window in film history because it's essentially, once it became the cult classic that it is, it's never not been in theaters in some kind of official capacity.
That's insane.
But doesn't that make a lot of sense too? Like, it feels like a movie like this, or oddly enough, The Room has to kind of be like those ones that you just are going to sell out midnight screenings all the time. Yeah. Because it's such a cultural event. It's a true cult classic. I mean, but that was a fascinating thing I found out.
It is the definition of a cult classic. Like the definition, if you look up cult classic in the dictionary, it will bring up Rocky Horror
Tim
Picture
Curry,
Show.
yeah. Just a picture of Tim Curry from this.
Literally. Well, with that in mind, performances. Well, We'll set aside. We'll do Tim Curry hour later.
Yeah, I think everyone's great. There's a few bits. Maybe this is a question. There's a few bits where I'm gonna be terrible with names. Susan Sarandon's character, and then what's his name? The
Janet and what's his name? Janet, Dr. Scott, Rocky. I'm trying to remember what his name.
Anyway, Mr. Glasses Man.
Yeah.
They at the beginning when they first get to the castle, there's this like rotation of who seems to be more into this that I didn't know what to make of, where I was like, wait, she's falling for it. No, he's falling for it. No, wait, they're both falling for it.
Yeah.
Which I think is played really, really funnily. I think everybody in the what's her the shorter hair maid, what is her name?
Columbia.
Columbia is really great. I think she commits really hard. Isn't Meatloaf in this? Isn't that Meatloaf?
That is freaking Meatloaf. So without this movie, we would not have Fight Club.
I mean, kind of, yeah, true. The pipeline from this to Fight Club is real. Yeah, I thought everybody is really good in it. I thought everyone had their moment to shine. The professor in the wheelchairs is funny. They do some funny things with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone. Rocky is really good. That he's really good in this.
I don't even legitimately. I have no idea if that actor knows how to speak English.
Oh, really? I thought it was good.
I don't even know if he knows how to, because I don't think that's his voice when he sings. Yeah. I am not convinced that man knows how to speak English.
Funny. All right. Well, maybe he doesn't. Do you have a particular standout in the performance category?
I will always love, like Riff Raff, Columbia, Magenta. Yeah. They're all so weird and so fun. A particular shout out to Susan Sarandon. She literally begged the directors and stuff not to cast her because she did not think she was a singer before being in this movie.
Fascinating.
And she was like, I am not a singer. Do not cast me. And then they cast her.
I love the idea of an actress begging not to be. You could just say no. You could just reject the offer.
See, but I bet a lot of money that she needed to take it. Like,
this was her breakout role. You know what I mean? Like, this was the thing that made her blow up into the mainstream.
It's just crazy to think that she didn't think she could sing. Like, do I think she's like an operatic, beautiful voice? No, but she could sing.
She fits in with this crowd perfectly. You know what I mean? She has the exact type of voice for something like this. Like,
the like ingenue, like
the very fun and weird kind of vocals they have to do throughout. All that stuff was perfect. It works so well.
Yeah.
Did
you know? So the actor who plays Riff Raff also wrote it, also wrote the music, also performed a lot of the opening song. That's the actor who plays Riff Raff.
I had no idea. That's awesome. He
wrote the story. He wrote the music. Like that's Riff Raff, baby.
Well, and the thing
Richard O'Brien, I think is his name.
Yeah, they were offered a bigger budget, I heard too, but they turned it down because they wanted to bring as many people from the American Broadway show over, which is also so cool. Mad respect to that. This movie would not have been the same if I think it was Steve Martin at one point in time was in the mix to play the Mr. Glasses Man. Susan Sarandon's.
Oh, okay. I could see that. That wouldn't be bad.
Don't get me wrong. He would be really good, but there's something about this movie being so kind of like, there's not major stuff. Now there are. I mean, Tim Curry now is obviously one of the most famous like character actors ever. If you've seen it from the miniseries, if you've seen an episode of Psyche that I'm very fond of, where he plays like a Simon Cowell type they have to protect from being murdered. It's so
love that.
Funny. Tim Curry truly is like a chameleon because every time I see him, he's different, you know, and in a way that I think is fantastic. And this is definitely his best role. I mean, he is truly like captivating in this movie.
Yeah. I mean, this is a genuinely legendary performance. I don't know how this movie would exist in its... Like, I don't think this movie would be the cult classic that it is without Tim Curry.
Truly. I mean, like, talk about somebody who... And look, most character actors are just interesting to look at, I'll put it.
Yeah.
He is both interesting to look at, but also incredibly attractive. You know what I mean? Like, he kind of somehow managed to have both of those things.
Yeah.
and he every
shout out
second
to the makeup
he's
department.
on screen. It's truly shout out to the makeup department of this movie. But he has a confidence in this movie that is so spectacular. Like he just, again, every second he's on screen, you're just looking at him. You're like, what is this guy up to? What's his deal? And I love, and tell me if this means anything, if there's like theories on this that you know, but he's at the wedding at the beginning.
Yeah.
Is that something, or is that just for like Tim Curry?
And Magenta. Riff Raff and Magenta are all there.
So is there like an intentionality to them ending up at the castle that we're not, is that what it is? Is that the theory? Or is it just because like, throw them in, this will be fun?
I think it is for you to ask that question and nothing more. Like I think there's so many of those things. It's like, oh, wouldn't it be weird and fucked up if he was the priest?
Like, you can't do that in so many types of movies. So whenever you can, it's like seize the opportunity, do it. Throw them in. Like why not?
Yeah.
And part of me also wonders, it's like, did they just need to pad the crowd? Did they not want to pay for extras?
Yeah.
Which is hysterical to think about. Also, just funny enough, it's technically, I think, based of Denton, Ohio.
Yes, thank you. I was going to bring this up.
Yeah.
Because all the Denton, Texas people are like, Denton, Texas classic. And I was like, it wasn't filmed there. No. Denton is like a fake... Like they say, like it is written as a fake town, but it's like I think it's like based off the name Denton, Texas, but it takes place in Ohio. So that I always think that's funny when like Denton, Texas people are like, yeah, Denton classic, baby. It's like
let's let him have it. Denton is let's let him have it. Denton Roads, they deserve something to be proud of.
Yeah, no kidding.
No, but that was a funny thing because going in, I thought it was Denton, Texas. Like I knew Breck went to college in at UNT, and so she was like, I think that was filmed partly at that cemetery because they do have like a famous cemetery there. Yeah. She thought it was, but then we looked at it after. We're like, no, that's not Denton, Texas, but we'll let him have it.
It's like only filmed in England.
Yeah. Which makes a lot of sense because that's where you're going to find a cool castle like that.
No joke.
The biggest laugh for me, before we talk about a little more on Tim Curry specifically in this movie, but the biggest laugh for me was the song at the beginning when he's like proposing and he goes in for the kiss and instead he chooses to sing and dance.
Yeah.
That killed me. I laughed so hard at that joke. It's so perfect.
This movie is so funny. Like it is so genuinely funny. And like, especially for a movie at the time, like it doesn't really feel at the expense of any of these people, you know what I mean? Like,
no, not at all.
It's like, look, they use some language that by today's standards is not exactly kosher, but at the time was much more acceptable and much more like wasn't as derogatory a term.
But
as
it's still not punching down. You know what I mean?
No.
Like it's still very much a level of affection or a level of like openness that I think is really magical for a movie that came out in 73 or 74 or something.
75, I think.
Yeah,
75.
like crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a genuinely fantastic thing to see. Especially knowing they were gonna get a bigger budget than they had, but they chose. The reason they didn't is not because of all of that stuff. It's because of they wanted the cast they wanted. You know, that's awesome. I genuinely love that. I think that's super cool.
Yeah. And they didn't need that. You know what I mean? Like they didn't need a big name like Steve Martin in order to sell it or in order to make money. Like the budget was $1.4 million, and the box office, I'm not sure how up to date this is, but is $166 million.
Yeah. Well, so it died on initial release, like dead in the water, until somebody came along and was like, "Why aren't you showing this at midnight to the people who like it?" Because the whole like shouting at the crowd thing was not intentional. That was, you know what I mean? Like shouting at the screen. That just happened. Like, and to put in perspective, I want to add that the costumes and all the stuff that people wear to these things started happening not in the era of VHS or YouTube where you can pause it and study the costume. You had to go to the movie or find a book that had pictures and stuff and build it that way. In the 70s. That's the type of like chokehold this movie had on people, and to this day still has on people. That absolute like vicious dedication to it, where it's like they had to go and piece by piece, and they'd go, well, I don't know if this is right. We got to go see the movie again and check it. There are people who have seen this hundreds of times in theaters. It's genuinely kind of beautiful, the love this has.
Technically, I think you could probably get it on VHS or maybe even like Selectavision or something like that.
Yeah.
But the quality, you wouldn't be able to see shit.
No, the quality, and at the time, it was such an expensive thing. Like, you could see the movie a couple times before you could, or a lot more than a couple times before you could buy whatever home release they had.
Yeah, for sure.
It is a genuinely, the love, I think, is also part of what made this movie as fun as it was to watch. Kind of cold coming in, as I knew the love it had. But yeah, I think it's fantastic. I genuinely think this is like a really fantastic movie.
Yeah, because it's funny because like it's so, the plot is so barren. The character work is like, you know what I mean? Like it's like pretty basic. You know what I mean? Like the thing that is like so fun is like the performances, the music, the effort, the design, that like all of the like show of it is all the best pieces, as opposed to like, you know, the detailed character work or like the intricate plot or what, you know, that kind of stuff that like usually like, you know, I find myself, you find yourself like drawn to in movies, where like these are flaws that we would point out as detriments to other movies, but is almost this movie's almost made better for being so barren in some of those ways.
I think it is made better. You know, like what would this movie be if we took an extra 10 minutes to really explore the inner machinations of these people's minds? It's like, I don't need it. I know exactly who all of these people are really quickly. I mean, basically every introduction, I'm like, I know who you are. I know who you are. I know who you are. Yeah, it's great. Like it does everything it needs to do, and then just puts so much effort into every frame. It's like the Tim Curry gag where he's in bed with both of them separately, and he says the exact same set of lines, and it works both times. Yep, that was another gag that made me laugh. Maybe the part of the movie that has aged the least well is that, but just the framing of him using the same lines on them was like, that's a smart bit of writing, you know, like that would work. That joke would work in a lot of other situations, but that is the part of the movie that's like, let's maybe take that bit and do something different. But I don't know. It's a movie from the 70s. You have to watch it like it came out in the 70s. You know what I mean? Like,
and dude also dies at the end. You know what I mean? Like,
it's not like he's not a good guy. Like, like the Medusa. What is it? The Medusa ray or whatever they freeze everybody into stone was and they're all naked. I was like,
when they get frozen.
I know, I was like, what is happening?
I mean, there's like there's something like that every like 5 minutes where it's like, what?
Truly, when he's like pouring all the colored goo into the vat to awaken Rocky. You're like,
the rainbow goo.
No, I noticed. Yeah.
Like,
in case you weren't aware, this is gay.
It's like, this is, I think, is this the most, I'm trying to phrase this in a way that makes sense. There is bi representation in film, everybody. It's called Rocky Horror Picture Show. This is the most bisexual movie ever made. Everybody in it is bi. Not only bi, but like so gender fluid in a cool way. You know what I mean? Because so I watched this documentary. I'll talk more about it at the end. It'll be one of my recommendations, but it's called Queer for Fear. It's on Shudder. It's produced by Brian Fuller. It's really, really good, but they talk a lot about the classic Universal monsters and how gay they were, how queer coded those stories are, and how like Dracula is so known for being this like, he's not really masculine, he's not really feminine, he's very sexually ambiguous. And there's some allure to that in an interesting way. Like, that's this movie. You know what I mean? Like, this movie is so for the like trans community, and so for the bisexual community and the gay. It's fantastic. I love it. It's genuine. And again, I just keep coming back to it. It came out in the 70s, guys. Like, it's crazy that this was like a safe space before safe spaces. And I think that deserves a lot of notoriety. Like, I think it should wear that like a badge of honor. Oh, and it very much has. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that is why it is the cult classic that it is. You know, or at least one of the reasons. You know.
Yeah.
And that's why we're also talking about it during Pride Month.
Yeah, man. We had not talked about, like, we were trying to come up with something to do, and I threw out a couple things for, like, Summerween, or like Slasher Summer was another thing we talked about doing, and you're like, well, it is Pride Month, and we could do, and you were absolutely right to suggest this is a perfect movie to do right now. It's so good.
Yeah, man. And it also fits into Summerween.
It does, yeah. Get a little spooky in there. It's fun. Good shit, dude. It's a good movie. I really, really enjoyed it.
Is Tim Curry's character introduction one of the best character introductions of all time?
Yes.
Because I definitely think it is.
Absolutely. Coming down that elevator and you're like, there he is. There he is. Like, he, again, every second he's on screen, he commands it and he does it from the get. There's not like a little introduction. It's the second he's here, you're like, oh, this is the main character. This is the star of the show.
Damn straight.
It's genuinely. I mean, the shot is also so cool when he comes down the elevator, and then when he goes back up, and it like, woo, it's so interesting, dude. The way they film this movie, you would think for a movie as cheap as it was, like 1.5 million's nothing even back then.
Yeah.
Looks spectacular.
It looks like the whole RKO sequence with the pool. I'm like, how did y'all manage that? Like,
legitimately, I was watching it. I was like, whoa, this is incredible. Like, actually incredible what they're pulling off. The
laboratory with Rocky, and then when Eddie comes out on the bike and is like, it's like, how did y'all accomplish this?
Yeah, it's like, look, when the professor shows up and it's the kind of, dilapidated castle, there's like a lot of decay and cobweb. That's easy to do.
Yeah. Him just
flying
let it sit for a couple decades and you got it. It's done.
Yeah, just don't go in those rooms for a while.
To really plan ahead.
But when he's like rocketing up the magnet that attracted the thing, when he's like going up the stairs and around it's like all of that stuff is great. Like, how did y'all do that with nothing?
I want to ride that ride so bad.
I was thinking that the whole time. I was like, there has to be a Rocky Horror a theme park ride somewhere.
Give me a Haunted Mansion style Rocky Horror Picture Show ride.
Incredible.
And
I would ride that right now. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. This is spectacular. If I had to
levy one complaint about this movie, is it is so front loaded with perfection, and then the second half slows down pretty hard for me. Like, the first half is like banger after banger after banger after banger. All the biggest like fan favorite moments all happen in the front end, and then the second half it like pretty kind of hard downshifts a little bit, in my opinion. What are your thoughts on that?
I do not disagree. Do you think that's like a musical thing? Because isn't Wicked the same way? Like, aren't all the famous numbers from Wicked in Act 1, and then Act 2 is
for
there's
good
like
is
one
also
or two
very
songs? Yes, but like Act 1 has popular, Act 1 has that's at least what I've heard. I've seen Wicked on stage. It's been like 10 or 12 years. I don't super remember it. And I've seen the part 1 of the movie and part 2, the trailer just released. Yeah. So that was just some of the stuff I had heard, that like the Act 1 showstopper is going to be the best that show is.
I wouldn't say that's like universal, but it's definitely a thing that happens. Like, that's definitely...
It's also a thing that just happens in movies. A lot of movies start strong and kind of peter out in the third act. That's like a Marvel movie problem, is that the beginnings are always really like pretty cool and innovative, and then by the end it's a CGI battle. Yeah. I do fully agree. I think the second half is not quite as good. That being said, when they get to the actual the sequence with the pool and all, it's spectacular. It's so good. Yeah. And it's that middle section that just has less music that's not quite as interesting.
Right. The music is so freaking good, man. The music is so good.
I need to listen to more of it, or listen to it more. Yeah. To like know it better, but like I immediately I was like, oh, this is like a great musical. Like, it's genuinely fantastic.
I mean, Hot Patootie is one of my favorites. Time Warp is an absolute classic. I can't remember what Frankenfurter's it's transsexual Transylvania.
Yeah.
How do you do, I?
Breck pointed out it's like he adds 4 syllables to every word he's saying.
Yeah.
Like, it's so fun.
Yeah.
But what was the line he has? He's like, it's hard to have a good time or whatever.
Yes,
it is. Like,
every time he addresses the camera.
Yes.
Oh, great shit, man.
It is.
Because they do it sparingly. He doesn't do it all the time. And even Dr.
So it always
Scott
gets always catches you off guard a little bit in a fun way. You're like, oh, wait, he just looked at me.
Yeah,
man, this movie it's a genuine spectacle that also has so much in it that's so fun and cool.
And it's just so universally horny.
Is so universally horny. This is one horny movie.
Yeah, man.
10 out of 10 on the horny meter. Sorry, 69 out of 69 on the horny
meter.
There
it is, yeah.
This is very quickly became a Blu-ray I need to track down because I have a feeling this will be a fun movie night one to show a bunch of people.
Yes. I mean, this needs to be seen with a group, a crowd, whatever. Like, inebriation is also, I think, a welcome element to it.
True.
It's so fun. Because again, like if I were to sit down and scrutinize it from a critical point of view, it's like, I could find plot holes and blah blah blah. But like, man,
the alien twist comes out of nowhere. It's like stuff like that, but it's like doesn't really matter.
But man, the freaking the Flash Gordon ass costumes and the gun is dope as hell. Can we agree that
trident, the trident blaster
is that not dope as hell?
It was cool. It was really cool. I love that it was bouncing off Rocky's super muscles.
Yeah.
The costume design is 10 out of 10 across the board. Everybody has that shit on the whole time. Like,
truly.
Good stuff. Good movie.
Okay, this is one thing I picked up on that I thought was interesting. What were your thoughts on it references like Nixon, like they're in the car, they're listening to Nixon's resignation speech on the desk of the the framing device guy, the investigator, the narrator, whatever you want to say. He's got like multiple pictures of other presidents. So there's like no, it wouldn't be Ronald Reagan. It was I can't remember. There were a couple other like presidential. It might have been Reagan, because it was Roosevelt. I think was one of the other ones. But he's got like pictures of other presidents. It's like, what?
Not the slightest clue. Did not pick up on the pictures of other presidents. I did pick up on the Nixon thing. I have no idea. I have no idea if this is some kind of like the government doesn't want you to see this or something like that. Like, I don't know.
That very well could be. Yeah, very very like Twilight Zone. Like
yes, genuinely no idea though. I did not pick up on the other presidents being in this.
Yeah. The other thing is I want the wall that he has of like, the monitors and like the levers. I want to build that in my house today.
I just want a giant lever in my house that does something. You know what I mean? Like
pull the lever, crunk.
It's all I want in all of my life.
Lever.
Yeah. Which, by the way, that movie rules so hard.
Also shreds.
Emperor's New Groove, great movie.
Also shreds.
I have no idea what to make of that, and I'm gonna have to do some Googling on that one later because I didn't pick up on it.
I mean, I think it's like very much it's like counterculture to like Nixon era conservatism, more than I think it is like
it's gotta be, yeah,
more than is like a statement having much more deeper statement than that, I think. But I think
that's probably right.
Which is an interesting thing that I picked up this time that I was like, why are there pictures of president? Like, there's a lot of presidential shit going on here.
Yeah. It's also interesting that this was a very successful stage play and not a very successful movie for a while. I mean, the movie became successful, but its initial release, it died. It was not good. That surprises me too, and I don't know what to make of that. Maybe movies are more like, widespread, and so they could. I don't know.
I mean, like you could make this exact same argument about The Producers. The Producers was is maybe still to this day. I'm not sure if it's still to this day, but like won the most Tonys of all time.
Yeah,
like had this incredible run. It's one of the most famous musicals ever, and I don't think the movie did shit.
Yeah.
Now, there's also another similarity that I think is really interesting. The Producers, the movie was directed by the director of the show. Same thing with with Rocky Horror. The director of the stage play also directed the movie. But I think, I can't remember the director's name sitting here now, did an incredible job of translating it to the screen and doing fun, weird shit where like the producers is kind of like just the stage play
still
on
pretty
screen.
Stagey, kinda,
and like there are jokes that work for the play that don't really work on screen. And so it's like I really like the movie because I really like the musical. And Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick are, phenomenal, and like the music's incredible, but like the movie isn't great because like it's just a rehash of the play, where like this feels like, look, I didn't see the original stage production, but it feels distinct. It's like using camera language. It's using camera to tell jokes or to frame things differently in a way that I don't think the producers was nearly as successful.
Great points. Yeah. I mean, that's, the differences between stage and screen become very apparent on certain movies, and then other ones you're like, oh wow, you really just shot the thing, didn't you? It's like we might as well have just live shot the play. Like
because
the cinematic form just affords you a few things that you don't have on stage that are good things, that are exciting and helpful cinematic tools. That's a great point. That's a great thing to think about.
Like I think what's In the Heights? In the Heights, the movie is not my favorite thing on the planet, but I do think it like does more than just put on the stage play. Like
they add a couple surreal elements. They add some stuff that like when they're dancing across the buildings, kind of thing.
Exactly.
Like it does a great job of those types of.
Exactly.
And then like Spielberg's West Side Story does a lot where it's like it really is like you could stage most of the dance numbers in that movie just fine, just like you do in the movie. What he does is he plays with lighting, and what he does is he plays with camera work. So your camera's very sweeping in that movie in a way that a stage play you'd have to really face it one direction. He's able to make those dances more dynamic really just by shifting the perspective of them. Yeah. That's all he has to do. And it's as simple as that. I mean, not that anything Steven Spielberg does is simple. West Side Story is an immaculately directed movie.
Yeah. Did you know for Steven Spielberg's West Side Story, did you know that they used like basically all the same choreography of Bob Fosse's original choreography from the original movie? Did you know that?
I did not, and that's kind of awesome because
the choreography in that movie is like so intrinsic to what makes West Side Story that it was like you can't change it. It's like I'm sure they make some adjustments and they did some blocking, some differences in blocking, but I think for most of it, obviously it's not going to be 100% the same because it's different people doing different performances in different places. But overall, the block or the actual choreography itself is all like very, very similar, if not exactly the same.
That's really cool. I did not know that. That's fascinating.
A little bit of musical history for you.
Yeah, there we go. I learned something. Now I don't have to do anything with the rest of my day.
Yeah, there you go. And then the thing with that is like, the original West Side Story is a cinematic classic, regardless of being a musical. It's a cinematic classic, but like they're staged so differently. They feel so different, even though it's the same music, the same choreography. But like even the choreography looks and feels so different just by changing the cinematic formula. And that's that is one thing I think this movie does really well, is by understanding this is a movie, not a live taping of a play. Like I think that's like absolutely laudable for somebody who is a stage director, not a film director.
Yeah, fantastic, fascinating stuff.
Yeah,
directing is hard.
Yeah.
Legitimately, these would be great ones to study to see the differences. I mean, right? Just like you said, the producers, and then something like this, and just watch one after the other, and just see really what the cinematic form can do. Because they've done like movies that have turned into plays and stuff, and they're different. They're just different.
A ton. Yeah.
Anyway, anything else on Rocky Horror? We have any other things we did not fully discuss?
When we see Rocky, he goes up to the lab, and then we go up to the lab, and then like the camera is looking out the door, and we see, he is revealed in the lab in his little lab coat. He is like, he's so cunty in his little scrubs, and I love it so much.
Great shit, dude. Oh, what a picture. What a picture, kids. I really genuinely can't wait to show this to some people.
Yeah.
Do you have any lessons? Any lessons on it?
That's a great question. I think if the casting is already perfect, why change it?
Why change? Yeah, that's a great one.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, there are things that needed to be fixed or changed because of the translation from stage to screen. Yeah. But if you know what you got and it's already perfect, keep it. Like, I'm sure Steve Martin would be an absolute bucket of fun in this, and I think he would do a great job. But the original actor who played, oh my God, I had it pulled up and I remembered it for 1 second and then it instantly ejected from my brain. Brad. Janet. Rocky. Yeah, Rocky just turning is the best.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I say, like, if you're translating something, take all the best shit, and if it doesn't work for the screen, change what needs to be changed to make it fit without ruining the original essence, you know?
Yeah. Truly. Yeah. For me, just something simple. Production design matters. Like you said, like the rainbow colors and stuff. It's like that matters. That's part of it. Do it. You know, like when production design meets costume design meets story, that's where the magic really comes from. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what turns like a low budget thing into like a masterpiece. And this, is there. It makes that leap. Yeah,
100%.
Movies.
Are you ready for the game?
I'm ready for the game.
Actually, quick aside before the game. So I put together these games. I put together these slideshows all by myself. Today, I was like, based with what the game is, I was like, this might take a minute. Let me see. Google was like, hey, use Gemini. And I was like, you know what? Today, just to speed up this process, let's see if this will help me. And it was useless. I asked it for something very specific, and it didn't do at all what I asked. And I tried like 2 or 3 times to get it to try to at least help me with the structure of it, and it couldn't do it. And I'm like, Google, you're Google. Get it together. Yeah. And like, look, we could have this could be a C segment if we want it to be a C segment, us railing against AI. But like, it is good at such a very small, narrow thing, and it is so bad at so many other things, and it's incredibly frustrating how much we keep talking about how it's going to change everything. And I'm like, guys, it can't even help me build a fucking slideshow. How is it going to change the world?
What it's going to change is it's going to destroy the environment. There is no version of AI that is not horrendous for the environment. It's a terrible, awful thing. Like, I hate AI.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. Like, there are certain, like, AI tools for menial tasks that I'm like, oh, sure, whatever. I'm not going to rail against anybody for using them. But it is a thing where it's like, it's still not great to do. Like, it's Natasha Lyonne being in the news cycle for saying David Lynch said it was okay for her to use AI in her movie. Is crazy and awful because that man's dead and cannot clarify what he said.
Boo.
Yeah, very
bad.
Very bad, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, with that in mind, let's play Animated or Fabricated. So, Tim Curry, later in his life, he had a stroke, and so he was wheelchair bound for a lot of his for as he got older he was wheelchair bound, and so instead of doing in-person performances, he switched to voice acting, and he has done a ton of voice acting for kids animation, which is like perfect because his voice is amazing, and I love it, and he's perfect, and I love him. So I'm going to give you the name of a character and a show, and you have to tell me if this performance is real or not. Okay, a lot of these shows or movies or whatever they are, I have not even heard of. So good luck. Are you ready?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. First up, he played Mutro Botha in Batman Beyond.
I'm gonna say this one's real. This one feels real mostly because I just want him to be in a Batman thing. I think.
Yep. Correct. It is real.
Yes. Okay.
Next, we've got Slagar the Cruel in Redwall.
I'm gonna go real on this one too. I have no idea what this is.
2 for 2. You are correct.
Okay.
This was real. He played Ezekiel Crunch in Bureau of Breakfast Affairs.
If this one's fake, I'm gonna be sad. So I'm gonna guess real.
It's fake.
Oh, but shouldn't that be real?
Yeah.
Shouldn't that one be real?
Yep. Bureau of Breakfast Affairs.
Fantastic.
Sounds amazing. And
fantastic.
And Ezekiel Crunch sounds like the exact perfect thing for Tim Curry. Next, we've got Dastardly Dentist in Timo Supremo.
I'm gonna go fake. I don't even know what Timo Supremo would be, so I'm gonna go fake.
It's real.
Oh well.
Yep. Like I said, a bunch of these I have never heard of.
Yeah, I was like, I would love to watch that. Why not?
He played Grandmaster Snort in Piggy Dojo Oink of Destiny.
I want that to be real, so I'm guessing real.
Fake.
But come on, don't you want to see that?
Yeah, I do. I came up with it, and I desperately want to watch it now.
I want to see that, though.
Yeah. And you wonder why it took me a while to finish this thing up.
Yeah, 'cause you're sitting there like, what's a funny name?
What's a funny name? He played Worm 1 in Samurai Jack.
I think that's real.
That is indeed real. Worm 1?
That was
how many worms are there in Samurai Jack?
Literally no idea. Apparently more.
I wonder who's Worm 2. If Worm 1 is Tim Curry.
Danny DeVito.
All right. That's it. Hey, you got me there. All right. Professor Finbar Calamitous in The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius.
I believe that's real, right?
It is indeed real.
Yeah.
Next, we've got Admiral Shoelace in Dexter's Laboratory.
Real. I'm not familiar with Dexter's Laboratory that much, but real.
Fake.
Using real shows that I would know on me now, you asshole.
K10C, Kids 10 Commandments. He played Hazaka.
Fake.
Real. This one was crazy to me.
Yeah,
Kids
what is that?
No idea. No idea. Absolutely insane that this actually exists. In Higglytown Heroes, he played Librarian Hero.
Real.
It is indeed real.
Yeah.
It is indeed real.
Good to know there's a
Higglytown
librarian
Heroes.
hero. But good to know there's a librarian hero.
That's very good to know.
Because
Tim
they
Curry's
are
a fun
heroes.
choice for that. Academy of Gifted Critters. He played Uncle Slurp.
Fake. That's got to be fake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uncle Slurp is a great name. Put Uncle Slurp in your back pocket, please.
I
use
came
that
up with
in
Uncle
something.
Slurp, and I was like, all right, what do I got to do with this one?
You got to use that later.
Haunted Library of Curiosity Cove. He played the Whispering Spectre.
That's real. Please tell me that's real.
Nope.
Haunted. But the title of that whatever sounds awesome. Like that would be
The
a really
Whispering
good Mike
Spectre.
Flanagan series. Like,
Yeah. Mike Flanagan produced like anime,
yes, that would be awesome.
right? Eloise, the animated series. He played Mr. Salamoni.
Real.
It is indeed real. Phineas and Ferb. He played Worthington Dubois.
That's real, right?
It is indeed real.
Okay, that is good to
You're
know. He
doing
was in
good.
Phineas and Ferb. Phineas
Right?
and Ferb is a very funny show. Like,
Of the ones that I pulled or made up, like I didn't even scratch the surface. He's been in so many classic shows.
it's awesome.
Adventure Time. He played Reverend Nightshade.
Fake. No, that's real. That's got to be real. I should have gone with my instinct.
Should have gone with your gut.
But doesn't it make sense that he would be in Adventure Time, though? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
100%.
Like if he wasn't at some point, he should have been.
I honestly am I can't remember if he actually is or not. I just came up with the idea of Reverend Nightshade.
Yeah, which is also keep that one in your back pocket. Reverend Nightshade's great.
Ben 10, Alien Force. He played Dr. Joseph Chadwick.
Real.
That is indeed real. In regular show, he played hot dog leader.
Real?
It is real. He also played prank call master number 1.
Fascinating.
Young Justice, he played.
Oh, this is real. I know this. I've seen this. I love Young Justice.
So you know. I
did not realize that was him. But as soon as you put that name, I was like, oh, that's the character in the show. That's got to be real.
Hell yeah.
And now I can completely hear his voice.
Yeah. Transformers Rescue Bots, he played Dr. Morocco.
Fake. Oh, wow.
Real.
Okay. I guess I don't know which one Rescue Bots is.
Curious George, he played Eustace Flibber. Sorry.
Real? I'm not familiar with Curious George much.
Fake.
Okay.
The high fructose adventures of Annoying Orange, he played Arugula, Endive, and Plum.
I would love to believe this wasn't real, so fake. That's a bummer to find.
Sadly. Nah, hey man, get your bag, get a paycheck.
True.
Wonder Pets, he played Tin Man.
Is that real? Real. Let's go real.
It is indeed real. Wonder Pets, we're on our way to save and save the day. We're not too big and we're not too tough, but if we work together, we got the right stuff. Go Wonder Pets. Anyways, so I remember that. In Ben 10 Omniverse, he played stage manager.
Is that real? Real.
I tried to trip you up with 2 Ben 10 stuff.
Yeah.
Over the Garden Wall, he played Auntie Whispers.
I haven't seen Over the Garden Wall. I'm going to go real because I assume somebody like him would be in this, so real.
Right. I think this is our last one. Thank you. You did a really good job on that one.
Yeah.
You did a really good job on that
one. For half of that stuff, I had me having no clue what it was.
I tried to trip you up by going like 80% real. Like I only made up a few in there. Because all of them are insane.
Your makeup names are funny, though. Uncle Slurp. Reverend Slurp. Nightshade, you got to keep both of those in your... Dude, those are D&D characters you got to develop.
Oh, shit, yeah. Uncle Slurp is definitely like an NPC. Like, yeah, for my...
Be great.
I don't know. For my... like if I were to... So right now, the Adventure Zone, which is the McElroy family live or actual play show, they just finished up their series called Abnormals, which is... They're all like in the 90s they had like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and like gargoyles and a bunch of like anthropomorphized animals that also have abs that are also like big and tough and strong. And so the whole series or this past season was very much like playing with the tropes of like 90s animated, like, cowabunga animated shows. And so when I do that, when I have my cowabunga D&D series, Uncle Slurp will be, friends to the crew. You know what I mean? Like he'll be like a helper,
Perfect.
They're
going to fight Reverend Nightshade.
And they'll fight Reverend Nightshade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Good game. That was fun.
Yeah. Recommendations? Or do we want to rail against AI for longer, or do we want to save that for later?
In all honesty, I think railing against AI could be its own episode. Like, I think we could do a mini-sode on that. I would be super down. Well, recommendations, I have Queer for Fear, which is a 4-part docuseries on Shudder that is it's fantastic. They just take you back from all kinds of eras of horror and horror authors and movies specifically. It's genuinely great, and they just interview a lot of actors and writers and performers. There's several drag queens they interview, like several directors, several people from the LGBTQ community, and it's genuinely great and super informative, and it's got a lot of personality. Definitely give that one a watch. It's really good. The other thing I would recommend is a new movie on Hulu from Dan Trachtenberg. It is called Predator, Killer of Killers. Holy shit, it's good.
Yeah.
I went into it thinking I'm going to have some fun. It is fantastic. It's genuinely a fantastic movie that adds so much fun shit to the Predator lore that I really, really like. But also it's just telling these like 3 anthology stories that would be great stories on their own, and then they drop a Predator into the middle of it, and it's awesome. The middle one in particular is like genuinely cinematic gold. It's so good. It's like 90 minutes long. I highly recommend it. Dan Trachtenberg is 2 for 2 with the Predator series so far, and later this year he's got Predator Badlands coming out that promises to be quite good also. This is this and Prey are the 2 best Predator things, period. Like, it's genuinely really great, and Prey is also fantastic. So if you haven't seen Prey, you should watch that first and then watch this. Great stuff, great shit. You got to watch it. It's awesome. 90 minutes. You have no excuse.
Not Shane Black's Predator from like 2015.
That movie is not good. I wish it was.
I wish it was 2019. That one
Something
came out just
like
a few
that,
years
yeah.
ago, right?
Yeah. It's not very good.
What was that actually called?
Predator. The Predator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it was Predator, Predator 2, Predators, and then I think it was The Predator.
Oh, okay.
And then Prey came out, which rules. Like, Prey should have been a big theater movie, but it was just... Prey was so good, they gave him an animated movie he made in secret that they did not announce until it was finished, and then gave him a theatrically released another Predator movie called Predator Badlands, which seems like the Predator is the main character.
You love to see
it. I love to see it, genuinely. I think that's awesome. Anyway, what do you have to recommend?
Not necessarily related to anything we viewed. Well, maybe tangentially. I was actually, I think both of these have elements that make sense for Pride Month. I was sick a week or 2 ago, and I was sick for like a week. And I decided to rewatch all of Midnight Mass.
Fantastic.
One of the best things
ever. Yeah.
Just ever. I absolutely love it. Makes sense for Pride Month because there is at least one lesbian character. Shout out. It's a Mike Flanagan thing, so there's at least going to be some
there's at
some
least one lesbian.
tears.
We can guarantee
there's at least
that.
one lesbian. And then I also rewatched all of Watchmen.
Another criminally underrated show.
That also is the way that show is able to talk about the Watchmen, like superheroes, and also be able to talk about the Tulsa massacre, the 1921 Tulsa massacre, how they're able to thread that needle, and for it not to be inappropriate or bad or
incredibly deft about it. They're very
and also make and also talk about being gay in being black and gay in the 40s and 50s
and how that affects you as a public figure. And
it is
genuinely
that show is genuinely incredible. Everybody involved deserves much more adulation than they received. Adulation? Adulation?
Accolades.
They deserve much more than what they received.
Couldn't agree more.
I also started watching the Mission Impossibles with Megan, and so we could watch all of them and go see the new one before
Final Reckoning. Yeah,
I want to go see it so bad, but I need Megan to catch up. Man, Mission Impossible 3 has so many good things, but it's not like amazing. And Ghost Prot fucking rules, man.
Ghost Protocol argument for the best one could be made very easily.
Yeah. And I would not be surprised if it is a bunch of people's favorite one.
If 4, 5, or 6 are your favorites, totally get it. You know what I mean? Like that run wrong. They had, any one of those, I have no argument against you. Awesome.
It's like number 1, 4, 5, 6, any of those are your favorites. Yeah. You are not wrong. Yeah. It's and they're all so similar and so different.
The 4, 5, 6, the advantages it has all of them really. I mean, 4, 5, and 6 are made by the same guy, but they feel like they're made by different people. You know what I mean? Like he directs with a very different style between those two movies.
Yeah.
In a great way.
Yeah. Also, Ghost Prot has Brad Bird and Giacchino teaming up again they did on The Incredibles, which is funny because Giacchino did the score for 3 because J.J. Abrams was the director, and then they kept him back for 4, and then he was working with Brad Bird again. I just thought that I noticed that for the first time watching it earlier this week, and I was like, oh shit, that's so funny. Anyways, so that's what I've been up to, and I'm alive now, so back on the horse.
You did it. You stayed alive.
Anything else?
No. That's about it. Recommendation wise for me.
Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month.
Shout out to all the girls, gays, and theys. Specifically, the trans men and women of the world. You guys have it. Guys, girls, and anything in between. You guys have it incredibly tough at the moment, and the world is truly criminal at the moment. But the fact that so many people are able to stand up for who they are and what they believe and continually fight on a day-to-day basis, all while still going to their day job and buying groceries and getting gas and living a normal life while they're constantly under fire by absolute morons and heinous assholes.
Evil people.
Anybody within the LGBTQ community deserves the utmost respect. They are so much stronger than anyone else that they deserve all the praise in the world and all the support and all the love that normal, straight, idiot, white guys like us can give them.
Could not agree more. This is a trying time, but shout out to everybody. Exactly like you said. Shout out to everyone who's fighting it and also just continuing to live as best they can. That's the genuinely the strongest people out there right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, the biggest force of rebellion that you can do is continue to live and be happy in your true self. That is, they can't take that away. They're trying.
There you go. They're trying,
but they will fail.
They will fail.
Well, with that in mind, you have a lot of things to watch. Go watch Rocky Horror. Have some fun. That's the perfect movie for a time like this to have some fun, some laughs, sing out loud, listen to some great music, watch multiple television shows and multiple movies. Predator being a phenomenal gay allegory. It's not. I'm just kidding. So yeah, go watch all of those things, or don't. I don't know, man, girl, gay, they. Live your life.